Hello out there. Happy Friday. It's mocktail hour. And things have been really kind of busy lately. Of course, it's the holiday weekend, and I got family and house stuff, and I've been traveling a lot. But I had somebody reach out and said, "Hey, are you going to do mocktail hour today?" It was actually my aunt. Hi, Aunt Patty. And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't think so." And then I mentioned it to my husband. He's like, "I'll make you a mocktail." So he made me a garden sunrise. Not that I always have a mocktail when I come on here. Sometimes, I just pop on and chat. Like last week, if you caught my show, I was at the airport and I did the show from the airport. But today I'm back at home and I'm holding my drink sideways. I tend to do that a lot. I don't know why. But yeah, this is a garden sunrise. It has a gin alternative in it. It has rose water and a few other things. I'm gonna get the recipe from Sean, my husband, and then I'll share it with you. But it's really good. It also has lemonade, so it's like a really refreshing summertime mocktail. And Sean is a very good mixologist. He always has been, even before mocktails. So he's great with making up really good, interesting drinks. I actually got a really cool text over it's not the weekend yet, I guess over the last few days, from a good friend of mine who was up in New York with a friend of hers, and she was sitting with her friend in this photo, and they were enjoying mocktails, and she said both of them had read my book, and that they were both sober and enjoying mocktails together, and they looked just amazing, glowing, happy. It was just so cool to see. So I love getting texts like that, getting messages like that, and seeing other people enjoying sobriety. Today, I wanted to chat about change because one of the big things that we all struggle with, humans in general, is change. And also other people, when we are going through a transition in our life where we know we can't be the same way that we were before. Maybe that's we can't drink anymore. We know that we don't want to anymore. We know that it's not serving us anymore. And we decide, we're going to change. That can be really, really, really hard for other people. Because not only are people uncomfortable with change within themselves sometimes, even more so, sometimes we're uncomfortable seeing that change in other people. And I'm talking, I mentioned the whole like giving up drinking, but man, this could apply to anything. And so I just wanted to tell you today that it is okay to change. I know that seems like an obvious statement, but we may hear it and we may, on one level, agree with it. But then it's another thing to really embody it and to allow ourselves the space to transform. But, this whole like stable appearance, the idea that we're stable, these stable creatures, these stable forms is really quite an illusion, because actually, as you probably know, all of our cells are constantly regenerating. We're constantly being renewed from the inside out, so to speak. And we really are creatures that change over time. I mean, just think about a picture of yourself when you were a baby or a kid, and then try to connect that with what you look like now or who you are now. I mean, how is that even the same being? I see it in my children. I think about them when they were babies, and I look at them now, and I struggle to connect the baby that they were to the child that they are now, because they change so, so, so much. So there's no doubt that change is a key part of life. That's something so essential to what it is to be alive. But even though it's so essential to being alive, we're so uncomfortable with it sometimes, we want stability, and biologically, we're programmed to seek that. We're programmed to seek things like shelter and, safety and all those good things that we all want and desire. But on the other hand, there's this whole psychological component where we're seeking things to be safe psychologically. And in that way, we can be scared of change. We can be scared of, I mean, some people, I've seen, there's all kinds of people, and there's different ways people deal with this discomfort. But, some people are scared to get a new car. They don't want to change. They are used to the one they had. And if they get a new one, they want it to be the same one as the one they had before. Or it might be like a certain kind of clothing. Well, I like this kind of clothing, and this is the only kind of clothing I'm going to wear. Okay, you're going to do that for the rest of your life. Yeah, okay. Whatever works. These things, everybody's different, but what can hold us back is if we are really so stuck in our ways and so scared of change that we don't allow ourselves the space to, like I said, transform. And so life is a really beautiful unfolding experience, and regardless of what we desire, nature's going to take its course, and we're going to change. Our appearance is going to change. Our mind is going to change. We notice, in our 40s, I hear more and more people talking about it, noticing the processing in their brain, changing a bit, because we're aging. We're all aging. And so to bring it to Mocktail Hour topic, when you decide to take a break from drinking, maybe you're doing a 30-day sobriety experiment, or maybe you're wanting to quit for good, and you're just starting this journey, you're going to be changing. You're going to be becoming a new person in a way. You're going to be letting go of a certain iteration of you that was, and you're going to be growing into a new version of yourself that doesn't drink. And I want to let you know that it's okay to leave. It's okay to do that. It's okay to leave behind parts of what was you and become a new you. Because what you really are, deep down, is this. You're not leaving anything behind. You're just leaving, like taking off one piece of clothing and putting on another. And so it's okay to change. And it's okay if other people don't like it. It's okay. People are going to come in and out of your life. I have to turn my do not disturb on because, yeah, there we go. People are going to come in and out of your life. And I mean, think about it. If you think 20 years ago, how many of the people that were in your life 20 years ago are still good friends of yours or still key players in your story? For me, if I think about 20 years ago, a lot of those people are not really major characters in my life story anymore. And it's totally okay, So definitely don't base your behavior on what other people are expecting of you solely, especially when it comes to something that's your health. That's something you need to really examine and decide for yourself what's best for you. It's okay to change. You don't have to stay the same. So this may involve some difficult conversations. I had to have some. When I quit drinking, not everybody in my life was thrilled about that. And, I had to have that conversation with somebody very, very close to me. And our relationship went through some changes, some challenges and changes. But I had to stay true to the message I heard inside, from my being. Like I knew it was time. And so, if you're hearing something like that, if you're feeling something like that, like it's time to let go of something that's not serving you anymore and embrace a new beginning, that's okay. And not only is it okay, it's great. You're going to learn so much. You're going to learn so much from having those conversations. You're going to grow so much within yourself. You're going to become more grounded. You're going to become more fully more fully human, more fully embodied as a person, as a being. Um, and you're going to discover new opportunities that you never would have had if you keep doing what you're doing that's not working. Um, you're gonna create a new reality for yourself, like new pathways. If you think of one of those branching kind of like mazes or images where it's like starts out on one, maybe a few paths here, and then each of those branches out. Anyway, you're like creating whole new opportunities for yourself as you make these changes. So don't be scared. Don't be afraid. You're not going to lose anything, really. And I'm telling you, it can be really amazing. I'm a very happy sober person, and I don't mean by happy, I'm not like, oh, I'm just like so happy go lucky, everything's great all the time, and I feel so good all the time. But I will say that I feel I feel much more present, and I feel much more in tune with myself, and I feel much more in tune with life, and I feel much more okay with the flow of life. Um, I still experience a variety of emotions and experiences, but it's almost like they're all much more blended. It's like almost like all I'm experiencing it as like a all of it together. Like when I'm sad, I'm not just like purely sad. I'm also like in awe of the ability to feel that sadness. I'm also like watching myself feeling sad, but I'm also not like recognizing that I'm also good. I'm also okay. And when it's weird, I don't know if that's partly just growing up, or and I think it has to do with sobriety as well. But like there was times in my past when I was sad. It was just sad. It was just dark. It was just sad, dark. And it was like more, like I hardly ever feel like that anymore. Most of the time now, it's a blend. And like I said, I'm sure there's a number of elements that go into that. But I feel like sobriety has helped me develop greater distress tolerance, because I no longer am really like numbing my feelings or running away from, trying to run away from reality. I'm recognizing that reality is here to teach me and here to help me grow. And it's okay to be scared sometimes. And it's okay to have questions. And it's okay to feel a little lost sometimes. It's all okay. As long as I don't, as long as I don't drink, just don't drink. You will have all these feelings still, but it's like, I'm saying, I'm just learning to tolerate all that more. It's like part of the color of my experience. And it's like, hey, cool, I'm human. Great. All right, we're on this journey. I'm really on this human journey. This is not a rehearsal. This is the real thing and all of its complexity. So it's really quite amazing. So I encourage you, don't reject, your experience, and don't not listen to yourself. Allow for yourself to change, allow for yourself to grow. And if other people need to be a little uncomfortable with that, it's okay. That's not you, that's them. They can work through that. But you focus on you growing. And who knows, those people may end up being inspired by what you're doing, and their lives may change for the better as well. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I think my family's going. We're going to do something. And so it's back to festivities and 4th of July weekend, togetherness and fun. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Try a new mocktail this weekend. Let me know what you tried. And I'll see you next week, most likely. Take care.